And
Hello.
we are live, everyone. Victoria,
Yes.
do not be embarrassed.
About what?
Oh, we'll find out, won't we? And welcome to another exciting episode of what?
Feel it real fun.
Oh my God. Episode
me.
424.
424. Hello,
Everyone.
Tamika,
Tamika and Yasmin.
Andrew, Maxwell, Suzanne,
This is great,
Patty.
guys. Hi, Patty.
NJ,
Sheena.
and Devram.
And Devram.
Yeah.
That's two people. And Devram. Guatham. Hoorah.
Yes.
Easy. Welcome to the show. Andrew Maxwell.
Zidinka.
Max Rue Endwell. Zidinka has joined the show.
Okay.
Sheena, Yasmin.
So while everyone else arrives, go to freeneville.com.
That's right. While you're at freeneville.com.
That's right,
That's
Simon.
right. Simon's here.
Yeah.
Hi, Simon. Nice to see you back.
Yeah. Grant
Music
Monk
and
and Jess.
were
Is it?
always the fashion.
Hello.
And while you're there, join us in Manifesting Mastery at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
Like
or
lasagna.
like in any of the success stories, there'll be a link to join us in Manifesting Mastery
Carmen.
as well.
Looks like Stella Jim
Carmen.
joined again.
Grant Monk, Stella Jim, look at you, bilocating
In
again.
and out.
I just love that.
Yeah.
And for the refunds, Victoria,
Go to feelitrealfun.com.
oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
It's just a fun place. We've got 424 episodes. Most of them are there now, right? There's only a couple that we haven't
Uploaded.
We'll find them over the next month and next year.
Yep.
Tanya.
So that means they're up on like YouTube.
No, that means,
They're up on Facebook.
yeah, Facebook took up the search function. That was real freaking smart, guys, right? Let's put up a page with a lot of cool stuff on it and remove the search function on pages.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah. It's called that. No one's going to scroll back 100 posts, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, rant over. Stays.
Okay.
All
So
right.
Cindy did ask, are we going to be putting it up on Vimeo? We
Yes.
haven't decided yet, have we?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
we have
we just got
decided?
to do the premium Vimeo package and then, have you sit there and drag stuff over.
I'll do that.
I know.
But yeah, is it expensive?
No, it's like $10 a month or something.
Oh yeah.
But you get all sorts of cool features, guys, and benefits.
Features. And
Remember?
benefits.
And benefits.
Features and benefits.
That's right. We have friends with features and friends with benefits.
Hello, Philip.
Well, I have a friend with features and a friend with benefits. Just
Paul.
one. Okay,
And
boy,
Paula.
That just crashed.
Paul and Paula.
All right, look at
What
that.
just crashed?
And Philip. Oh, my joke just sucked.
Oh.
It just went totally pear-shaped on me.
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah. But I have a lovely friend with features and benefits.
Yeah, you got one here.
This
A little Brucey
Oh,
boy.
it's Brucey.
And
All right,
I'm
guys. So, Victoria,
Yes.
today's show is Weird Manifesting the Darkness, Giving Up, and the Sweet Side of Surrender.
Now, someone said, so just briefly for tomorrow's show.
Yep.
Because we asked for questions,
Yep,
didn't we?
we'll be bringing those into tomorrow's show.
Tomorrow's show.
We were going to bring some of them in this morning, but the Mac machine did an automatic update. On me.
Yes.
It made up my time, so that's okay.
That's
we,
okay.
We took a deep breath and got 5 gallons of petrol and a match because that is the secret. Everything you can fix anything with 5 gallons of gas. That's right.
Yeah.
There was a joke. Oh, Paul, you naughty guy.
Pauline Brown,
Yes.
downtown, Karen,
Oh, look at this.
Oya.
All right, they're
And
still coming
sorry,
in.
who's that?
Nutella,
Natilla.
I believe.
Okay. And
All right.
Peter Rundle.
Peter Rundle has joined the show.
Yay. All right.
All right. So, Victoria,
Yeah.
let's read that Neville Goddard quote,
Okay.
and we'll dive into the darkness, giving up, and the sweet side of surrender.
So the quote is, do not be embarrassed when I tell you that you are God. Instead, walk believing you are then important. You don't have to become arrogant, but you must assume you are God. Think about it. Stop believing in God and start believing as God. Do this and the visions will come to confirm your assumption.
Cool. We're going to dive into that a bit more tomorrow and today. But Neville talks about the 4 reunions and the promise, yada, yada, yada. There's definitely a series of insights or experiences or shifts that happen that this isn't about walking around going, I'm God.
No.
Yeah, and then she gets to say it and we confirm it for each other. That's not it at all. Okay. Once so we'll just dive in. So remember, we started the week with a few presuppositions, guys. Ready? Consciousness is what?
The only reality.
That's right. Your awareness of being is what?
God.
And how you are aware of being? how you're aware of everything being determines what?
Your reality.
Yeah, that's it. You're everything,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So Bonnie Donaldson put up a really nice little thing that basically said, I may not be the woman you marry, but I'll be the one you think about 20 years from now when you're next to that old hag at the bar or something like that. And I love that because like really, you know what happens to the people that post those? If they're feeling that, well, they end up lonely and old and at the bar, probably by themselves.
Yeah.
Right? So, oh my God, Tim Norman.
Oh,
has
Tim
joined.
Norman.
I've got some pictures for you, pal. That's all I'm going to say. I showed you those
Old
yesterday.
ones.
Oh, new ones.
Showed me those yesterday.
Yeah, I showed you those yesterday. Anyway, all right.
Okay.
So the darkness, giving up the sweet side of surrender. So I was sometime in the late 90s when I started to experience a couple different things, right? One of them was the significant event that Neville talks about of the golden liquid light shooting up the spine, all that good stuff. I believe that was phase 3 of what he talks about, or the way he phrases it. But around that time as well, I bumped into this thing that I found out was called the dark night of the soul. And I honestly don't know if Neville ever wrote about this or experienced this. I've had no interest in finding out if he did. But it's a fascinating thing that I do want to toss out there, because the dark night of the soul is, from what I can tell, your awareness or your concept of self and your concept of God both dying. So you know, just toss that around. So, and I'm not talking concept of self like I'm a policeman, right? Yay, right? That's just good fun. That's just a role play. But getting down to that existential thing, like what am I? What is God? Like like so many people get so hung up with these things, and I toss this out because I want you to know, in my experience, and in the experience of a lot of other people that I've talked to over the years, when your concept of self is dying, it feels like you are.
Yeah, for sure.
Because your concept of you, right? It's like there's this minor thing that happens to almost every, at least man that I know. When my grandpa retired, he had no definition of self. He was a foreman in a steel mill.
Yeah.
And when he retired, he read all of his Zane Grey novels and died. Right?
Oh, wow.
He ran out. He finished
a lot of people, though, experience that when they retire. They don't have...
You got it. Yep.
That is them. That's their whole life. And,
and that's it. Game over.
Yeah.
So it seems to be a pattern, especially with the old school men. So, right? I retire. I'm out of books. Right?
Out of books.
Seriously. Grandpa ran out of books, and I looked at him, and he was hollow. And it's like, oh, that ain't good. And then... that was it, right? A year later, he was gone. So that's a surface level of this. What I'm talking about is deeper than that. And I say deeper because it's like, when people say what you are is a spirit and a innate body, you are a bit and piece of the, you can tell when it's a concept versus abandoning all that stuff. Something worth noticing, something worth doing. Okay, if you're drawn, my thing back in the 90s was I devoted myself to truth. That was it. I just wanted to. I just devoted myself to truth, which I discovered was synonymous also with love. But my concept of love changed. My concept of me had to die. My concept of love had to die, because love isn't just like snazzy fun, right? There's so much more to the richness of it all. And my concept of God had to die. And Mother Teresa talks about this. I guess God spoke to her once, right? And then she went through the dark night of the soul, and God didn't speak to her anymore. And when I read that, I get God couldn't speak to her anymore because God was no longer outside of her in her perception, right? And she had to work her way through that. So the dark night of the soul hit me twice. And I just want to mention this, mid-90s and also like 2002, somewhere around there. Let's toss that in. The second thing, giving up. Okay, you get to give up all sorts of limitations on the big chunk level. You get to give up your concept of self, your concept of God, and you get to discover something. Right?
I love your laughing. It's like people are going through, oh my God, this depression.
Yeah. By the way, the only thing I could do in 2002, right? I did two things in 2002. I formed an online business. February 2002, I got back online and started selling things on the eBay.
The
eBay. And the second thing I was doing was putting together a credit card processing business because I could make like $1,000 every time I walked out the door, right? The problem was I couldn't get out of bed, right? All I could do was weep because I was literally feeling something died and I couldn't even tell what, right? And I know now it was my concept of self, my concept of God. So just tossing it all out. Here's why I mentioned that. I got everything I needed. Whenever I would start to run out of money, my friend Adam would call and he'd say, hey, I deliver pizzas. I'm like, yeah, why are you calling me? I just want to sit here and cry, and he goes, listen, the pizza shop I work for, they need 2 machines. Great. So I go over and I give the guy my sales pitch, which wasn't all that great or good. It was just honest. And the guy says, I'll take 2. This is great. Do you want them on a lease? It'll cost you a lot more money, or do you want to pay for them? He goes, lease. Yeah. Like, great. So I made like $1,000, $1,500 per machine, right? Bang.
Yeah.
$3,000, 40 minutes, go home, take off the suit, crawl back in the bed and just cry for a while. Just something new, right?
Yeah.
So just tossing all that out. By the way, I also got to give that up, right? Because, you could stay there forever, right? Not something I'd suggest. So next, the sweet side of surrender. Neville talks about surrendering to the state of your wish fulfilled. I'm going to chunk through this in a weird way. If you give up your concept of self and your concept of God and you discover the vastness that you are, this all-knowing silence that we talked about, I believe, yesterday, you're not going to sit around going, I'm imagining doubling my income. I'm imagining doubling my income. Yeah, when you get the vastness that you are, okay, you're the ocean that has all the waves in it. All the way. Yeah, you don't try to still the waves. You don't try to. Yeah, you're the ocean with all the waves in it. You are relatively still, but think about the size of the ocean, okay?
Yeah, massive.
And the size of a wave, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to still those. All you have to do is just notice your vastness. Notice from the vastness you are, right? And so when it comes to manifesting, okay, you get to surrender to something, let's say, more lovely, something that's bigger. Instead of needing to struggle, needing to, did we talk about this? There a need to struggle to prove you exist? No, this we call 7 maybe. But as long as you feel the need for proof, if Victoria needs proof that she exists, she's going to find all sorts of ways to prove she exists. Okay.
Good and bad.
Good and bad, right?
Yeah.
Versus when I am. All right. And you just play with sensing all this, like we talked about yesterday and the day before, and same with time. When you're willing to notice time is inside of you, oh my God. Yeah, this is where the fun is, because you get to surrender to something. You surrender to the shit job that makes you $20,000 a year. Wow. Why not to surrender to something lovely that gives you, double the income or double that? You can. Again, that's just a smaller chunk, but this is how if you want to know how you get to the bigger chunk, this is a pathway to do that. You surrender to something bigger and more lovely. You surrender to something bigger and more lovely. Let me ask her something. Have you ever been in a relationship that totally sucked?
Yeah.
Right? You could have stayed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Most of them I did.
Yeah, most of them I did for a while. Now,
cuss and curse.
were you ever in a relationship that was twice as good as that, but still sucked?
Yeah.
Of course, right? But here's the funny thing. Some people go to work making minimum wage, and 20 years later, they're still making minimum wage. You can surrender to something bigger and more lovely. I was a lovely cop. Okay, just to be honest, I was a lovely cop. I was cute even. I had a mustache and a gun. I looked like the village people, right? Chicks digged me. Uh, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I surrendered to something I think a lot more lovely. Surrender to something bigger than what you have and more lovely than what you have, and you get to discover that you're bigger and that you are more lovely, and what you are is love. Use the law as a way to discover who and what you are.
Mm.
Or Grant Monk says, or that shit job that gives you 150K per year.
Yeah.
Is that probably worse? I've never had a job that gave me that much money.
Yeah, because
right?
it's bloody hard to leave then.
That would be hard to leave.
That's the problem.
I'm really blessed because making 150K or more a year doing what I love is fun.
Yes.
But I contrast that with making 20 grand a year doing shit. I hate, right? I
Well,
like
then
it.
it's easy to walk
Yeah,
away.
it's easy to walk away from
that.
that,
It's like,
right?
nah, give it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
credit card processing, I made some good money, right? But I didn't stick around long because the boss sucked, right? That's why I formed my own business, right?
Mm.
And dropped back into the dark night of the soul, right? So on and so forth.
There have been oodles of comments.
All right, Victoria, grab comments, please. I'll sit here and pretend I'm smoking.
Every single show this week is pure rock solid gold, says Yummy Yaz.
Yeah, you know what? If
Yeah.
you're enjoying, here's two things, right? Super secret agenda. We want you here in April, right? If you want to find out what hanging out with us is like, the live calls will give you a flavor of what playing with us is like, and this will. Because I'm not going to sit around and go, step one of Feel It Real, step two of Feel It Real.
No.
If you can buy it in a product or read it in one of my articles,
Yeah.
it may show up in the process of all this and what we do in the live calls. You notice in the live calls, a lot of stuff shows up, including basics, right? Including foundations, including stuff people are mucking up. But we don't sit there and go, today's live call is
No.
Feel It Real.
And what I love most of all about the live calls, but especially like the live groups, is it's so personal.
Oh,
And so things come up for each person, and then you'll work with them. Do you know what I mean?
yes.
To sort of tailor stuff and
Yes.
just help them notice stuff. It's
Yes.
just so enlightening. I love it. Okay,
Do.
so loads more
Joe is
again.
Yes,
Oh,
says,
Joe,
come on
I haven't
down.
seen you in a bit.
Oh, nice to see you, Joe,
Yeah.
with an E. Right.
Well, it's the other Joe with an E.
That's another
So we
Joe,
call
yeah.
him Ziglowski or something.
Peter's been surrendering to coming down under.
Cool.
Gotham says, loving these last 4 shows, exploring more than normal Neville 101.
Yeah.
I love Neville 101. Like, I know you do, but I'll be honest, right? Soulmate. For fuck's sake, scroll down 3 posts. We just answered that, right? How do I manifest money for Friday? Don't sit around counting it in your imagination, right? Trust me, you'll be doing it next Friday and the Friday after that, right? Just scroll down 4 posts, right? Just to, this is where it's at. This is who you are. So thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they just keep coming, these comments. Hiya, Kim. Glad you could join. I saw
Cool.
you came yesterday as well. And Alice. Hiya.
Nice.
All right. Agree with you, Guyton, says Peter. Cool.
So, Victoria,
Yes.
anything you want to bring in? I've rambled a lot and fast.
Yeah, it's been ace. So the Dark Night of the Soul, which you spent a lot talking about.
Yep.
Mother Teresa was afflicted with it
Yep.
or whatever.
Yep.
So did she move on from it?
I don't know. It doesn't appear to be the case that, based on what I've read, doesn't seem like she fully emerged from it. She may have. I honestly, I think I have 2 books about her that I got to read. I just haven't got around to it. But
Because
So-
she oozed love.
oh
I
my
mean,
God, yeah,
But
absolutely,
it's like,
absolutely.
yeah, being in that state the whole time still.
In the Dark Night of the Soul, I can say one thing that I absolutely knew was I am love. However, in that experience, while in the Dark Night of the Soul, there was an emptiness,
Yeah.
and so
Is it emptiness or lost? I don't know, like just empty. Is
a boat without a rudder. You left the shore, right? The shore that you left had a concept of you and a concept of God. Cranky white guy, goddess with boobs, yeah, whatever, right? The insanity. I love that. Well, couldn't God be a woman? God is a woman, and a and a guy
Yeah.
and a dog and the fucking yogurt. Right? There's only one reason any of it exists. It's an expression of. It's God. Yeah, God expresses through. Hey, Kim Heaps.
Yeah.
So, with the dark night of the soul, it's almost like you left the port. Concept of self, concept of God. You go out into the ocean and you realize there's no fucking rudder, right? And you don't know what the other port is. The other port does not have a concept of self at that chunk size or a concept of God at that chunk size. The other port is really getting awareness of being as God. That's it, right? That's it, right?
So is this the promise, what Neville talks about?
Absolutely.
All right, got you.
So, and it's experiential. But by the way, if you have a dream and you experience, let's say, the baby, and you email me saying, "Do you think it's happening?" My answer is no. Here's why. And we'll talk about this tomorrow. There are depending upon how you look at it. Let's say there are 4 shifts in the promise. Those 4 reunions, those 4 shifts are experiential. Okay, you know something. You move from something to something, right? Something is left behind. So there's very definite experiences. The symbology may vary, right? But the experiential understanding doesn't. You get when I say, I know what you are, it's not, I know what you are because I read it. I know what you are because no one else is saying this. I know what you are. When I look at you, I see me looking back. Okay, and it's like, there's one ocean, there's a drum, there's a tin can in the ocean, a lovely little coffee can, right? and in this lovely little coffee can, there's 4 holes, right? Just like that. And the ocean streams in, right? And it looks at itself. Okay, just a thought. So let's scroll. Oh my God. Yes, Gotham says that reminds me of when Neville talks about when he was the ocean and he was petrified. Yeah, good fun. All right, Victoria, your turn.
Yes.
You guys toss something up. Could it just be that the dark night of the soul was a good thing? Was for me. I think a lot of people resist it. And here's also why I mentioned my buddy Adam in the pizza shop. And when I sold credit card processing for another company, I did that for a couple months. And then I formed my own business, right? But here's why I mentioned this. The first time I was going through the dark night of the soul, I had like 40 grand in the bank. I wasn't concerned about money or losing the house. The second time I was finishing up the whole thing, I had nothing in the bank. I got divorced. I had nothing, right? Right? And so now, right, what did I have? An online business where the only thing I had to do every day was to stick a cassette in one thing and 4 more cassettes in something else and hit play, record, and stick them in envelopes and go to the post office with my "fuck you, I have enough friends" shirt on, hand them over, and me and the post guy would have a giggle, and I'd go home. They always said, "You're such a lovely guy. Why do you wear that shirt?" I'm a paradox today, right? So I had that, and if I needed a big infusion of cash, always one of my old clients or Adam or someone would call me up and say, "Look, I got a customer for you." And I'd walk in and go, "Right, yeah, okay, let's talk. You want to sign or not?" They'd sign, and I'd go home and I'd have another grand or 2 to pay bills with, right? It was fun. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
I didn't resist the dark night of the soul thinking I was going to be living under a bridge. All my needs were taken care of. I understood that because abandoning concept of self, tiny little thing, or God, something way out there, and discovering this, right? How could I possibly not be taken care of? Right? Boom. So talk about a cool experience, because in that experience, I had no capacity to get a job. None, right? I remember the first job I got after all that. What a hoot. It's like, right, got to make it work. So, all right.
I can't read comments today, so if there's something there that you
Did I actively do anything to overcome, or did it just pass by itself? Great. trying to resisting it,
It's the worst
exhausting.
thing you can do.
Trying to overcome it, the same thing. All it is your concept of self and God dying from it, I can tell. And so what emerges through that is love. So the kittens were born. And there was a mama cat, brought her inside, and the kittens were born. And I don't know, it's like a week after they're born, they open up their eyes. And this this little fella and I just looked at each other, right? It was me looking at me. There's a photo of that. If you look at the How to Reinvent You articles on on freeneville.com, I believe it's in the second article. You'll see a guy with a goatee and this thing that nobody knows what the hell it is. It's a cat.
It looks like a rat.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
kitten.
Yeah.
And I remember when his little eyes opened, because it was me looking at me, looking at me, looking at me, looking at me, and that was.
Oh, it's
it.
like when you have the mirror there
Yes.
and the mirror there, and when you let go of that and you see all of
Yeah.
these all the way back to infinity.
That's it,
Yeah.
right? That was the exit. So that's the short version of that story.
Yeah.
That little guy's still alive too. What? I'm trying to get you a
Grant
bogey.
says surrender, right?
Yes.
Yep, just surrender to the dark night of the soul. That's right.
When you don't resist it, and you don't want to speed it up, you don't want to slow it down, you just want to notice, hello, Richard, I love you. Got to talk to you about what I'm playing with, by the way, buddy. Just really having some good action going on. Appreciating what you're sharing too. So.
Mm. Oh, hang on,
All
Bubs.
right.
Let me take you off because.
It's raining. It won't go anywhere. All right, what a show. Another
Yeah.
26-minute one. Wow.
And Peter thinks he's experiencing that these days. Yeah.
Drop an email, buddy. Do, another thing, one more note. Do not force it. Don't try to make it happen, right? Just please don't. Yeah. People write me telling me that they're trying different things. Don't. Please don't, right? More on that next time.
Here's a minute.
All right, so Victoria, what do we tell them?
What'd you learn? What'd you learn about you? And what was your best bit?
That's right.
Type them in down the bottom, or come back for the refund and type in what you got.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Yes. Go to freeneville.com. Join us in Manifesting Mastery by going to manifestingmasterycourse.com.
By the way, nobody gets an invite to come here in April unless they're in Manifesting Mastery.
They've got to have done
right?
that. It's prerequisite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or even just be signed up and doing it, right? If there are any seats left open, like the beginning of April, okay, we'll open it up for more, for even more money. Reason for that. But if you're coming in, if you're thinking, coming in April might be nice, if you haven't done MM, do it, right? Dive in. You stay on that list, because that's the only way you're going to get the details. So meanwhile, okay, so we did 1, 2, and for the...
And for refunds,
That's right.
go to feelitrealfun.com.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. Music and passion. I think Grant asked a question about
What you got?
Oh,
What did you say?
the photo. Did Grant, is that what that pic is? Yeah, that pic is
Yeah.
of a little kitty named Yoda. Yoda.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun day at the dog park, guys. You get to wear an outfit.
Yep, you do.
All right.
Your little jackets.
Love y'all. Have a lovely
Okay.
day. Comment. And
Tomorrow we'll be answering questions. So we'll be
Okay.
reviewing. We've got one in. I can't remember who posted it. It was something about
was good.
holographic or something.
absolutely.
And we want to talk about that. So that'll be tomorrow. Plus, if you put some other things our way,
put up your things.
20 all time.
Yeah, we'll talk about the little bit more about the promise reunions tomorrow and answer questions, and
Yeah.
then we'll that'll be it.
Cool.
Love you guys. Have a lovely day.
ya.
Matthew always gets in late. Shit, revise that.
Yeah.
Blessings, buddy. See ya.
See ya.
Freeneville.com. That's right.